Across the country and around the world, military spouses are building careers, supporting families, serving communities, and lifting one another up. And that's exactly what our 1 in a Million challenge was all about. Recognizing the 1 million military spouses whose strength, leadership, and impact shape this community every single day. And tonight we're going to get started with a quick highlight reel from the challenge that we had going on for the last 2 weeks. Military spouses.
Hi, everyone. I am Leslie Generis. I'm one of the co-founders here at Five and Thrive. And wasn't that amazing? I don't know if any of you were able to participate and saw your face on the screen there, but it was such a great month of just honoring our military spouses. And these moments remind us that while military life can be unpredictable, this community is quite powerful. And speaking of incredible spouses, tonight we also have the privilege of recognizing someone very special in our community. Each year, through the 1 in a Million challenge, we hear powerful stories of military spouses who go above and beyond, not just supporting their families, but also lifting others up along the way. And so tonight, on behalf of USAA, we're honored to announce Five and Thrive's Spotlight of the Year Award. This award recognizes a military spouse or community partner who is committed to helping others thrive. And before we announce this year's recipient, we also want to recognize all of the incredible individuals who are highlighted through the 2025 year. Kristen Day, Lydia Owiti Otiana, Aaron Thompson, Lolly Cowell Anderson, Michelle Paget, Fadua Harabi, Brianne Schulman and Lisa Bradbury, Carolyn Chrisman, Chelsea Thomas, and Raina Worth. So quick round of applause for those spouses who've been honored over the last year for the incredible work that they've done. Each of these individuals have made a meaningful impact in their communities through service, leadership, and commitment to supporting military families. And each of the monthly spotlights will receive a special Five and Thrive package, Compliments of USAA. And you can learn more about each of these individuals by visiting our spotlight page on fiveandthrive.org. And now it's our honor to recognize our 2025 Spotlight of the Year. So drum roll, please. Chelsea Thomas. And Chelsea's story represents so much of what makes this military spouse community extraordinary. Through the challenges and changes that come with military life, she has continually stepped forward to support others, strengthen her community, and create opportunities for connection and growth. Chelsea is the kind of spouse who shows up for families, for her community, and for fellow spouses navigating the ups and downs of this military life. Her leadership and dedication remind us that the strength of this community comes from spouses who choose to lift others along the way. So Chelsea, we are so grateful for the impact that you've made and the example that you've set for all of us. Please join us in congratulating Chelsea, our 2025 Spotlight of the Year.
So tonight's conversation is something that touches nearly every military family: financial confidence and empowerment. Military life, as many of you know, I don't have to tell you all this, but it comes with unique challenges: PCS moves, career changes, deployments, and a lot of uncertainty. But having the right knowledge and the right tools can turn that uncertainty into opportunity. To guide us through tonight's conversation, I'm going to turn things over to Mrs. Brown, somebody you all probably know who cares deeply about our military families and strengthening community. So Mrs. Brown, I'll pass it over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Makayla. And hello, everyone. And we are so happy to have you all joining us from your locations around the globe. One of the things that we hear from military spouses again and again is the financial decisions can feel overwhelming, especially given the unpredictability of military life. But the right information at the right time can make a huge difference. That's why we are so excited to have our guest speaker with us tonight. Jennifer Beeston. She is one of the top mortgage lenders in the country and a passionate advocate for helping families build financial confidence and long-term stability. And who doesn't want that, right? Tonight, she's going to share practical insights and strategies that can help military families make informed decisions and feel more empowered in their financial journey. Jennifer, we are so grateful to have you here. Everyone, please help me welcome Jennifer Beeston.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you guys. Hopefully you can hear me. Can we hear me? Yes, I've been so excited by all the emojis that you guys know how to do. I do not know how to do any of it. So this presentation is going to be so low on tech. And there may be moments where you're like, don't people know this? A lot of what I'm saying is going to feel so simple, so basic. But as a lender, here's what I do as a lender every single day. I get a phone call. I talk to someone. Okay, you want to buy a house? Great. I talk to them. Where do you work? How much do you have saved? And then I look at the numbers. So for 19 years, I have looked at hundreds of thousands of numbers. My team's one of the top teams in America for purchase home loans. So when I say I see it all, I see it all. It's an interesting perspective because I'm in a job where people open up their world to me, and I appreciate that. And I want to be very clear throughout this. If there's anything that I say where you're like, you feel like I'm hopeless, I can't ever do this, I'm not good with money, I'll never get ahead, I just want you to stop yourself because no one is hopeless. Everybody can make better financial steps for their future. Everybody has a chance at a brighter future. You just have to work the basics. Okay. Hayden, let's hope you have a slide. Maybe I can bore people with more about me. Also, throughout this, if you have questions or if you're like, hey, that's me, I relate to that, play with those emojis. Drop the questions in. Let me know that I am not just rambling into the abyss. It would make me feel happy. Yes, you're all hopeful. And I can tell you, like, guys, I've met people where, like, I've talked to them, they've had no job, they've had 480 credit score, they've had $0 in their bank, and 3 years later, they're calling me to buy a house and they've reversed all of that. Okay? Everything is easy to accomplish if you put your mind to it. Let's go to the next one. Amy did a beautiful job. Okay. I wrote a book as well. And if any of you guys are like, I like to read, we will send you one. We're not trying to sell books and make a bunch of money off of that. I actually wrote this book because I'm one of the early social media. I don't want to use the word influencer because it's gross, but I've been doing videos on YouTube for over 7 years now, all about mortgage education, real estate, as well as, what I'm seeing with money, how people are treating money. And what I started to notice is that as technology has advanced, the way people spend money has changed. And I was hitting so many clients that felt like they just didn't know where their money was going. They didn't know what to do. And they had become unconscious consumers. Okay. If you get anything from the next however minutes I drag this out for, what I want you to know is that you need to be conscious of your purchases. We are being trained right now by technology. Think about it. How many of you guys still use cash for most of your purchases? Drop it in the comments. Got one nope. I know there's nope. Okay. One cash. Nope. 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 Oh, two cash. Okay. What is cash? There we go. Right. Okay. So, like, I'm just laughing at the comments. I need to stop. Okay. So, a lot of people aren't using cash. How many of you guys are shopping online? Like, how many of you guys are buying stuff on Amazon or Instacart, or you're on Instagram and you're like, God, I need that sweater? How many of you guys are doing that? Okay. I'm watching the comments. Like, it's solid. Do you feel it when you spend it, or is it just click, click, buy? How many of you guys are actually writing it down in a book what you're spending? How many of you guys are paying attention to it? Or do you pay attention to it later when you get your credit card bill or you see your bank statement? Okay. Glad we've got some people paying attention. Checking online balance. Yeah, the online, yep. Apple Pay. Okay. So, how many times have you guys had a box show up on your doorstep and you don't remember what you ordered? I've had it. I actually, guys, I have a piece of art behind me right now. I love art. And there's an artist I love. His name's Shepard Fairey, and he does prints, and they're like $30. And I actually bought the same one twice. I didn't even remember buying the first. So we live in a world where we are being separated from our money. And the way technology works is it trains us to be an unconscious consumer. So if you get anything from this, what I want you guys to feel is every single time you are buying anything online, okay? I want you to write it down. Just write it down. If anyone on this wants to save money, you want to start building up, let's say maybe it's down payment for a house, maybe it's 6 months of savings, and you shop online, whether it's Instacart, Amazon, DoorDash, whatever it is, if you want to start saving money, all you have to do is make yourself on a piece of paper write down every single time you buy something. Trust me, you will stop shopping pretty darn quick because it adds up faster than you think. Okay, so look, that's a whole rabbit hole, but that book goes into how technology is doing this, how it's been designed to do this. You know, I went through the whole era where clients would be like, I had a guy once where I'm like, you just bought a truck. And he's like, Jen, you would never believe this. I had been thinking about a truck. I'd been telling my wife it was time. And then on my computer, there was a truck. And I'm like, oh my God, he doesn't know about cookies. He doesn't know about like, certain devices are listening. Like he doesn't know about search history. He doesn't know about any of this. He thought it was divine intervention. Okay. So I was like, we got to start talking about that because that's the thing. The technology is so good, guys. It knows what you want before you want it. And that sounds crazy, conspiracy hat. Let's all get our tinfoil on. But pay attention to what's being suggested to you. Pay attention to what you're buying and then ask yourself, is she right? Okay, let's go to the next one. That's a fun rabbit hole I could spend all day in. Okay. So when I talked to Amy about doing this presentation, I was thinking about, you know, if I wanted to tell people 7 steps or 7 things that I see go sideways and really affect people negatively after 19 years of seeing this, talking to couples, number one, talk about money with your partner. Okay. Whether you're married, whether there's someone you're in a relationship with, you need to have open financial conversations. Money in our culture is considered taboo. I don't know about any of you guys, but were you raised being told, you don't talk about money? That's not polite. Did anyone ever hear that? If you said, hey, how much does that cost? Or, what do you make? Or anything regarding finances, there is a taboo about talking about it because it can make you feel greedy. Like if you're in a relationship, I'll hear from people because they come to me to get a loan, right? Let's say the wife's calling. Okay, cool. What does your husband make? I don't know. What? Well, wait a second. Okay, cool. Like I have how much you save. I have your job. How much is in his savings? I don't know. What's his credit score? I don't know. We have separate finances. And not to be crass, but I'm going to put this as simply as I can. How can you share a bed with someone and not know their credit score? How can you share a bed with someone and not know their financial goals? Like, so much more taboo stuff. But then the money's like, oh, no, I don't want to ask that. I don't want to ask that. And look, it's not about taking the other person's money. It's about if you have a life together, you need to talk about money because money is what makes the whole world work. If you're not talking about money, let me give you a couple horror stories. I had one client, and we get this more often than not. I'll be on the phone with someone and I'm running credit for the husband and the wife, and I'll have the husband or the wife on the phone, and I'll be like, "Oh, like, you've got a ton of debt." And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." But she doesn't know. So can you not tell her? What? Yeah, she doesn't know. So I need you just to keep like my stuff separate. No, no, no. You're buying a house together. So everybody's information's going to be on there. It's all coming out. Some of the requests I've had over the years. Hey, can you not tell her about the truck? I got it for a friend. What? um, I'm not going to call her and announce it, but guess what? It's on your application. Okay. We also have had it where I had one client where her husband gambled away all of their money. They were retired. She didn't know. She didn't know. They never talked about money. So, seriously, truly, let's see here. How many of you guys talk to your partners about money? No judgment here. It's hard. It's hard. So, how many of you guys already talked to your partner about this, or you're just like, ugh, like maybe just type in ugh, if you don't like it? I feel it. I don't like it either, but we do it. Okay, we've got a couple that are doing it. Good. Good. Okay. Everyone's talking about money. Good. He's my retirement plan. You go. Okay. I like it. Taking a finance course. Love that. Love that. So good. Nice. Okay, Alicia, we got to talk about I'm my spouse's retirement plan. Feel you there. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Arguments. Okay. We'll talk about that too. Yep. Oh, that's a fun one too. Yeah, it is an uncomfortable topic. Okay. So look, there's different ways to talk about money that can. So for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. First husband, we didn't talk about money. I managed the finances, and I didn't want to, but someone had to, right? Like I was much younger and not who I am today when I was doing it. And, we had a ton of credit card debt. And he'd be like, "Why do we have credit card debt?" I'd be like, "Well, because you're going out to these golf tournaments, you're taking people to steak dinners. Like, it's a lot of money." But he didn't want to be involved in the finances at all. He didn't want to talk about it at all. He just wanted to blame. And obviously that led to a divorce. Second husband, we talk about money, but we use Monarch. Is anyone on this? Do any of you guys use Monarch? Monarch is an app. It's a budgeting app. No one? Everyone hates Monarch? Oh, Allie hates it. God, Allie. Okay. Um, so we use Monarch, and what I like about Monarch is it's an app, and you can put your cards and everything in it. And I have it set up so I have to review every transaction, and so does he. So if anyone in the house is spending money, we both have to look at it and approve it. It not before the purchase is done, but in order to categorize the finances, we both have to sign off. It doesn't lead to fights. It leads to stuff like a couple weeks ago, he's like, "Wow, you seem to be shopping a lot." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've gained 10 pounds. Like, what do you want me to do? I don't fit on my clothes," which started another conversation. It wasn't a bad thing. It was a conversation. Or sometimes we'll see something and I'll be like, "Hey, I just saw this. Is this you?" No, that's not me. It's fraud. And that's something you guys need to recognize is that fraud is insane right now. We see so much of it in lending, but also just like you should be looking at every single transaction on your credit card and debit card. I can't stress it enough. The amount of times that I catch fraud, or fraud is a hot topic, yeah, that I catch fraud on my own stuff right? Because they'll start off with like a penny or 10 cents, and then suddenly you're like, why do I have this reoccurring merchant? And it's something you've never done. So having some sort of system like Monarch I like, and we can agree on what our goals are. Like, what's your goal? Is it retirement? Is it a vacation? Everybody has transparency, which we're going to be talking about more. So, number one, you've got to talk about money. Okay. If you can't talk about money, if they refuse to talk to you about money, you're running uphill. And like, do any of you guys have a partner that won't talk to you about money at all? Okay. No, and that's good because, oh, okay, good. Because it's really tough if you have a partner that completely disassociates from money. What you have to understand as well in a couple is that people aren't usually reacting to money in necessarily a rational way. They can have patterns from their youth. So you could be with someone who makes a good amount of money. You guys are financially secure, but they are always worried. That worry likely has nothing to do with you or your security. It's something from when they were younger. Have any of you guys seen that, like even with yourself, where maybe you were raised in a less financially stable position and now it's something you fear? Yep. I feel you guys. Yeah. And here's the thing I can tell you right now. If you come from that background, you will never feel financially safe, I don't think, but you can at least build stability all around you. So if you have a partner that is comes from that background and it's driving you crazy, you just have to recognize where it comes from and have the conversation, maybe reassure them about how you're building a stable financial world for yourself. And if you have kids, your kids. USAA catches, okay, that's good. Great. Yeah. Yeah. Lolly, so if your partner grew up in a financially insecure household, you just have to constantly show them, it's not your job, right? Like, but at the same point, it's like if you can show them how stable everything is, that will help with the bigger purchases. Because sometimes what I'll see people who are like 800 credit score, they have a ton of money in the bank, they make good money, they totally qualify for a house, they're terrified. They're like, I don't qualify. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're the best person I've seen in a week. And they're like, no, I don't. So that is a real thing, and that does come from people's youth. So talking about money, making them feel stable, showing stability, building stability is very important. Okay, I'm going to go to two because I know I have to go quicker. Sorry, guys. It's very passionate about the talking. Okay. Yep, we'll give you a copy of this. Let's go to the next one. I feel like I did that. We kind of did this one too. Monitor your money. As I said, you should be tracking every single transaction on your credit cards, your banks. You guys need to watch out for overdraft fees. Maybe. I don't know how you guys are managing your bank accounts, but there's been like a couple banks in the VA space where like they'll hit you. There was a lawsuit where basically what was happening is, let's say you had $1,000 worth of stuff coming in out on the same day you had a $2,000 paycheck coming in. They would take the $1,000 out before putting the $2,000 paycheck in, and then they would charge the people late fees. So watch out for that. The stuff that you really need to pay attention for is fraud. Bank fees. Another one that people don't recognize is ATM fees. A lot of you guys aren't using cash. For my cash people on here, when you guys take out money, please tell me that you are not paying fees to take out your money. Do you know? Okay, good. If USAA refunds all ATM fees, that's great because most major banks don't. So that's great for USAA to do that. Does Navy Fed do that, guys? No Navy Fed members.
Navy
No,
Fed
that
does
could
as
be.
well.
Navy Fed does as well. Okay, good.
Most of the
That's
military
great.
facing ones do because they don't always have brick and mortar locations.
Okay, that's great because when you look up the number of how much people pay in ATM fees, it's appalling. And Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, like billions of dollars a year. So monitoring your money is important, no matter how much money you have, because if you're paying attention, you won't make mistakes. You won't end up in a hole. Let's go to number 3. I was reading the comments. Okay. Use credit wisely and protect it. So one of the things I've seen in the military space that troubles me is there are certain companies that will give military members ridiculously high lines of credit. And if a bank offers you a high line of credit, it does not mean that you should take it or use it. But as a lender, I have seen so many times where I'm looking at someone, maybe they're making $60,000, $70,000 a year, and they have a $50,000 maxed out line with a company who I'm not naming. Then they'll have a credit card that's $25,000 maxed out with a company that I'm not naming. And like as a lender, I go, they have no chance to ever pay that back because, okay, here's a fun one. What's the interest rate on your credit cards, guys? If you guys look online, how do you guys look at your credit card statements? Do you get paper statements or do you go online and pay your bill? Drop it in the comments. Okay, for my online people, log in and tell me what your interest rate is. You don't have to do it right now. I mean, you can, it would be fun. What time is it? Yeah. If anyone wants to go online and log in to their credit card and tell me the first page, do you see your interest rate? I'll tell you right now, I did this with about 15 people. No, no. The online doesn't have the interest rate on the first page for most major credit cards. You have to go into the statement to find the interest rate for most credit cards. When you look at the consumer facing, if you go to the app to pay your bill, it doesn't have that interest rate big. It looks like some of you guys know what your interest rate is, but yes, Allie has noticed that no, it's not on the main page. Try to find it. There's some of them where it's like a treasure hunt and you really can only see it on the statement. Credit card companies don't want you to know what the interest rate is because if you did, you would never borrow another nickel. That is why everything's designed to make spending the money as easy as possible, minimum payments, but all it does is keep you in debt forever. Credit card debt is the devil. Okay? Now, if you guys are like, "Oh my God, I have so much credit card," it's worse than a casino because you just lose. Credit card debt is a devil. It will rob you of your future. It will add stress to your life. There is no vacation. There is no sweater. The only time, like if you guys don't have any credit card debt right now, I'll tell you what I tell my son. The only time you should ever consider credit card debt is A, hospital emergency. B, your car's broken down and you have to get somewhere. That's it. That's it, guys. We're talking about life and death situations. Like wanting a DoorDash burrito is not a life and death decision. So if right now you have credit card debt, your number one priority should be paying those cards off. Look up the snowball method. That's one that many people use. Literally every single extra dollar that you can put on credit cards to pay them off, the better. And right now, if you have credit card debt, stop. Just stop. Don't use them anymore. Don't. You need to erase them from every single store online, right? Because remember, it's that click, click, buy that's going to get you. It's that instant wallet. Erase them all. Cut them up. You got to get away from them, but you do need an emergency. There you go. Laura's enjoying the credit cards. Look, ideally, ultimately, the way that you should use credit is it's a tool. So for instance, and look, guys, when I was young, oh my God, Like, I went to college, I got every single credit card you could. I bought all the sweaters, all of them. I was buying everything as a kid my parents wouldn't buy me. And I had all the debt. It took years to get out. I did debt negotiation. Don't do that. That's terrible. I made all the mistakes. So there's no judgment coming from me. But you definitely like get to the place where you don't have it. It's a different world. So what I told my son, for example, he's 22, starting out, really simple. You want 3 credit cards, not store cards. And the stores really get you. People are like, but I shop there all the time. You know, there's very few benefits. The reason why a store wants to give you a credit card is so that you shop there more. Also, because they want those obscene interest rates of 20 to 30%. I would have 3 credit cards total. I would put a little bit on every single month and pay it off in full. That's it. That's it. Put a tank of gas on, pay it off. Put a grocery trip on, pay it off. And then if you're at an advanced level where you're like, Jen, I'm not really like credit card debt, I'm not worried about it. Okay, cool. Like at this point, I put most of my expenses on my credit cards. I pay them off probably weekly because I'm a little bit neurotic. I also have auto pay set up to automatically pay the balance at the end of the month. And you're like, she's crazy and she's extra. It's because I've seen lates, with auto pay especially, like we see the credit reports where someone's like, they have like 3 credit card lates. And I'm like, dude, like you want a house, but you're not paying your bills. What's happening? And they're like, well, I had it on auto pay. The auto pay didn't work. And they weren't getting the notifications from the bank because it went to spam or whatever else. Their credit's toast. So you do want to be checking, making sure that your bills, even if they're on auto pay, are actually paid. Um, Everybody should have credit. I know, are any of you guys hardcore Dave Ramsey? There you go. We found a high APR. Dave Ramsey, yes. Love Ramsey. Okay. Guys, I love Ramsey too. Some of his advice is crazy, though. Like, I love his basic core, but the no credit at all is bad advice. And the reason it's bad advice is, let's be real. I don't know many people that can buy houses with cash. That's not just because I'm a lender. That's just reality. So cash, excuse me. So buying a house, buying a car, you're going to need credit. So if you want good credit, 3 credit cards, tank of gas a month, pay it off, get that nice 700 plus credit score, because on your bigger purchases, that's going to save you so much money on APR. It's ridiculous. And if you're like, but Ramsey said I can get a loan even with no credit. Yeah, I do those all the time, guys. Like a lot of people work with me who are Ramsey followers because we're similar in terms of how conservative we are. Um, but it's a higher rate. Lenders price no credit score loans like you have bad credit. Okay. Everybody needs credit. And if you're like, well, my husband has credit, I don't, yes, you do. My wife has credit, I don't need it. I'm just authorized. No, everybody needs to build their own credit, period. Okay, we went to another slide, which was building together. I feel like I kind of covered this one a little bit in the beginning. Money is a team sport. We used my first husband. It's so horrible to say. We get along great, guys. We get along great. Our son just graduated from college. Yay. Um, Look, one person can't do all the work. It's that simple. It just leads to divorce. It leads to unhappiness. It leads to resentment. If you have one person doing all the budgeting, watching the money, monitoring the money, and the other person is just totally checked out, or they're just spending all the money, it doesn't work. So it's stressful. It's arguments. It's horrible. It's like if you're trying to improve your health by eating healthy, and imagine if your spouse came in every single night with, I don't know, a bucket of fried chicken, 15 tacos, and a donut express tray from Flaky Cream or something, right? Like it doesn't work. So if you're trying to explain it to your spouse, if they don't want to build together, use that example. Go, hey, like what if you were trying to lose a couple pounds or you were trying to do this and I was doing this? How would that make you feel? And if they go, well, that would be effed up. Same thing with money, guys. Same thing with money. Well, it's not the same. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Gatekeeping the budget. I like that. Okay. Let's move. Well, look, you guys need to share goals. I don't know. Are you guys talking to your partners about your retirement goals? Drop it in the comments. This is a very interactive all the time. Yes, yes. Not yet, but we need to. Has, yes. Is that because you guys are trying to figure out when you get out of the military or how long you're staying in? Okay, so you guys are talking about retirement. That's good. No, because I'm old. Oh, I like that. I feel you. Yeah, so we do, I'll be honest, guys. Military families, in my experience, they are more connected than non-military. And it's because you guys have a life where you're so connected and moving together and staying together. I do definitely see that bond on that more. Three-ish. Okay. Yeah, Allie, you got to start thinking about that. What state is he going to work? I don't know how long he's been in. What's the game plan? Never retire. Keep them at work. Okay, let's go to the next one. Otherwise, I'll just read your comments because you guys are hysterical. It's hard to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. Okay, know your triggers. So, because of what's going on with technology, like think about it this way. How many times have we seen stories recently where, actually, I'll use a different example. COVID toilet paper. Did any of you guys go out and buy a ton of toilet paper during COVID? I did. I bought a ton, guys. I am still going through it. And I tell my husband every single day that it's because, I've saved him from inflation. So that was something where we saw fear-based buying. Yeah, the formula for the infant. Did you do that because of the infant formula shortage? Do you guys remember that one? Like there have been so many news cycles recently. There was the potential port strike where we weren't going to have access to food. I feel like you guys get more realistic news than like mainstream America does. But what we're starting to see is we're starting to see news cycles trigger spending. Like if they start talking about, and once again, you're military, so you might not actually fall for this stuff, but the mainstream is falling for definitely like New York did a campaign about what to do if there's a nuclear bomb. Like people were buying like everything for nuclear radiation. So that's one trigger is fear-based triggers. The other trigger could be boredom. Do you ever buy stuff because you're bored? Do you ever buy stuff because maybe you're lonely? Maybe you're sad. Maybe you're tired. So for me, when I started really sitting down, I did what I told you guys with the whole like, if you're online, write it down. Except I wrote down what I bought, how much I spent, and what my mood was. Why was I buying this? And what I noticed is that I was just a sucker for anyone that wanted to sell me anything after work. I was tired. I wanted that dopamine hit because that's what it is. When you buy something, it's a dopamine hit. And I just wanted to feel like, how many times have you guys bought something that's aspirational? Like, let me give you an example. I thought for a while I was going to become a hiker. Yeah. So I bought like hiking shoes and like a backpack. Guys, I am not a hiker. I am the least thing from the hiker. But in my thoughts, my trigger was I want to be outdoors. I want to be this person. Any aspirational shopping, I mean, fitness equipment, I think falls underneath that. Starting businesses for fun. Oh, I love that your husband. What is your husband buying? We've got a husband that's an aspirational buyer. Workout stuff. Yep. There you go. Social media influencers are definitely making it hard to resist shopping. Oh, I like that about the wine club. That's hysterical. A swimsuit size, 3 sizes too small. Allison, we should talk about my closet right now. It's a problem. Yeah, there you go. I mean, look, it's a thing. So if you can recognize what your trigger is, that can help you not spend. If you recognize there's certain times of the day you're more likely to spend. So what I did with that is I just don't touch my phone for like 2 hours after work ends. That's it. I don't touch it because I know that's my weak period. So identify your triggers. And look, if it's your husband doing it, just do it. Like maybe don't say, hey, you keep on buying this workout stuff. We all know you're not going to do it. Maybe instead say, hey, let's do a journal of our spending and how, like, really write down the emotion because it is eye-opening. How many of you guys are getting sucked into MLMs? Do you guys know what that is? Multi-level marketing. It's when your friend is selling dresses. Anyone? Okay. Yeah, we've all been there, right? Um, some people are triggered by guilt. If you feel like you have to buy something because of someone else, don't buy it. Like if it's something for your kid that you need, okay, like that's a good guilt and really it's a need. But if it's something from a friend that you're trying to help out, like, and I see that Allie's done that. We might be the same person. You wanted to support them. Here's the thing. If it's something you really want to buy it. But otherwise, you're just probably getting them into more debt because they'll just keep on buying this stuff because they think people want it, when in reality, you're just being nice. So only buy stuff you need, pay attention to your triggers, and write it down. Okay, let's go somewhere else. Oh, Girl Scout cookies. I feel you on that one too. I mean, that's like Girl Scout cookies is like charity though, right? Like we allow charity. Um, prepare for the worst. Yes, let's prepare for the worst. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, that's horrible. Bought a designer bag, pressured by a friend, but wasn't into it and returned the bag 2 days later. At least she returned it. That's good. Um, okay, this one's simple. Prepare now so you have room later. A lot of people live optimistically, and I think you should be optimistic and you should try to enjoy your life and have fun. But you also need to make sure that you're thinking about your retirement and you're thinking about an emergency fund. There was some crazy statistic that like over 50% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their checking account. I think it was actually higher than that. The bottom line is that if you have the ability, even if you're only putting $25 a week towards it, after you pay off your debt, okay, remember, we're going to pay off debt first. After you pay off debt, having a cushion is the most beautiful, liberating thing ever. You will sleep better. You will feel better. You will enjoy your life more because you will know in the back of your head, in your subconscious, that if something goes sideways, you're okay. There's lots of things about building your buffer, why you might want them. Look, start with what you can afford. I never want someone to cut off every single thing they do to try to create an emergency fund. Just start recognizing that you need one. Start putting even $10, $20 from your paycheck a week. It will build up. Okay. If you can do more, do more. I started doing that years ago. One trick, if you guys work or if your husband, I don't know if the military allows this, so you guys can correct me. But for instance, with my paycheck, I have 10% now of what I make. It goes into a separate account. The account is like impossible to take money out of. I don't have an ATM card. I don't have a checkbook. If I ask them to wire money, they interrogate me for 3 days and I give up. It is the best savings in the world because I will never touch it. And if it's taken out of your paycheck before you see it and it's not something you can really access, out of sight, out of mind, build savings. It sounds ridiculous, but it really works. Does anyone do that now? I am laughing at the comments. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, good. Nice. Oh, Yvonne's here. Hi, Yvonne. Okay, good. Okay, so you guys are doing this, so you know the power of this. All of that is fantastic. For anyone not doing, start doing it. And if you're like, I really don't have any money to do this with, get to a point, start small, $10, $20, $50. Just keep on increasing it. It will grow. Let's move on. Oh, sorry. Twice a year, do a financial detox. So we're going to talk about a couple different resets and detoxes. Let's go to the next. There we go. Okay, so what's a financial detox? There's different ways to do it. So there's the no spend challenge. There's also a digital detox. So let's just do like what a no spend challenge would be. A no spend challenge, let's say you do it for a week. You don't spend any money. You spend your normal stuff like your mortgage, your checking, your savings, but you're not spending money on anything except for like has to happen. If you're like, well, wait, so DoorDash? No, not DoorDash. What do you have in your cupboard? And you're like, well, I'm going to be inside. I'm not going to get cocktails. It's going to be boring. Yes, it's going to be boring. So during that time, you're going to go through your emails. Part of a financial detox is getting rid of triggers. So, how many of you guys get the emails that are like, best friend sale, 40% off? And you're like, oh my God, I'm their best friend. I need to click and buy, right? Or flash sale now. Like, all of those emails feel like the company, likes you. They are stealing money from you. Unsubscribe, unsubscribe. And here's the magic about it. If you unsubscribe from them, then when you go to buy something from them that you actually need, you'll get a discount because we all know that if you subscribe again, they give you a discount. So you should always be unsubscribing from these companies that are in your email trying to sell you stuff. Unused subscriptions. How many of you guys know how much you spend on subscriptions a month? Netflix, Hulu, apps, different apps. Does anyone know the exact amount they spend on subscriptions a month? Because the average American is $200. I know, and it is gross. NordVPN for extra 3 months. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Shireen. It's the average. It's the average. That includes people that don't have subscriptions like Victor. I know Victor's been around for a while. Hey, Victor. Um, Yeah, and then look, let's be honest, there's certain companies, guys, where it is so hard to unsubscribe. It's like a gauntlet. I think the hardest for me were Microsoft and Adobe. Who were the companies that made it so that subscribing was like a gauntlet that you're not even sure? And then the other thing I will say is that you've got to watch because I feel like with some of these companies, you unsubscribe, and then 3 months later, if you're watching your transactions, you're like, oh my God, they're charging me again. It's like a game. So definitely make sure that you guys are paying attention to your subscriptions and you're canceling the ones you don't need. If you're on the fence with subscriptions, I'm going to give you guys a great tip. Are you ready? You're not sure. So how do you decide if you should keep the subscription? Cancel it. If you're not sure, cancel it. The only subscription that you should keep should be one that you are passionate about keeping. And here's the thing, if you cancel it, once again, another shocking fact, if you really miss it and it is affecting the quality of your life, you can resubscribe. Okay. Oh, Shireen's got a strategy. Nice. Yeah, Heba, it is frustrating. The CFPB, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, before they got dismantled or lessened recently, they actually had put together an enforcement where it was going to be the cancel click rule. So, however easy it was to subscribe to something, it was supposed to be that businesses would have to adhere to you could cancel it as easily. Sadly, that has not moved forward, but that was going to be amazing. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. The goal isn't perfection. We all know that. One of the things that I think is so sad about money is that you got all these people, and look, they're online, they're everywhere, and they're always overcomplicating how to be financially successful. They're like, oh, you need to buy this, you need to do this. How many people have lost money in crypto so far? Maybe it will come back, maybe it won't. There's always someone out there telling you an overly complicated way to be more financially successful. Oh, well, take out a HELOC and pay this part back, but then do this. No, it all comes down to the basics, which is don't spend more than you make, stay out of debt, try to pay it off if you have any, start stacking money. Look, I believe in home ownership 100%. You guys have the VA benefit. This isn't about mortgages, which is why I'm not going into it, but it's like the basics will give you an amazing life and they will keep you out of trouble. Watch out for the people trying to pry the money out of your hands right now. And I think we know who a lot of them are. Google, Facebook, ChatGPT. Oh, I'm going to tell you guys one more thing. I'm sorry. I just have to tell you this because I read a study on it last night. I am that person. So apparently with ChatGPT and some of the other AIs, there was a study recently done where they were asking it to do airline tickets, or I don't know the exact business. But what they found is that the AI models are suggesting sponsored results even when they're more expensive. And in some cases, they're not telling you it's sponsored results. So you go to the AI model, you're like, hey, I need you to do XYZ, find the best deal. And it may not be the best deal. It may just be a sponsored search. So really, really watch out for that right now, guys. The AI world, if you're moving into that with stuff being booked or shopping, eyes wide open, eyes wide open. Like, would I trust it 1,000%? No, I wouldn't even trust it 15% right now. Like, be very careful, please. Should we be reporting that to the CFPB? Um, I mean, I think everything's it's tough to report to the CFPB. Sure. I mean, we can try again, but like, yeah. Oh, Laura's got the tricks there. I like that, Laura. Okay, so there's breakout rooms. There's a lovely kit that Amy put together with a lot of this stuff because she's much more organized than I am. I hope there's been something useful in here for you guys. Just keep it simple. You'll do great. That's it. And if you feel hopeless, don't be hopeless. You've got it. Okay, I'm letting you be free. Be free.
Jen, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to share practical tips and resources to help us be more financially fit. Military families are often pointed in the same direction with the same handful of resources all the time. So having something that actually feels practical and usable is refreshing.
A special thank you to all of our sponsors that made our 1 in a Million challenge, virtual fitness challenge possible. It was such a great year. We had people participating all over the country, all over the world, actually, in our Oconus places as well. And so thank you for all that participated, and we look forward to next year. So remember, wherever military life takes you, this community is here for you. Thank you for being part of tonight's conversations and for everything that you all do as military spouses. And thank you for joining us.